Hi students, in the previous video I discussed with you about strong electrolytes, weak electrolytes and non-electrolytes. Now in this video we are going to see the process of electrolysis. What do you mean by electrolysis and what are the terms related to it? What are ions, what are substances and what is anode and cathode? All these details and the principles of electrolysis. So keep watching. Substances may be classified as strong electrolytes, weak electrolytes and non-electrolytes. We have discussed all this in the previous video. Now strong electrolytes consists of high concentration of free mobile ions in the molten or aqueous state, and so they conduct large amount of electricity. So this is strong electrolyte. Now weak electrolytes consists of low concentration of free mobile ions and in the molten and aqueous state, and therefore they conduct small amount of electricity. This is weak electrolyte, and we have seen examples for strong electrolyte. We can have molten NaCl or aqueous NaCl. For weak electrolyte we can have acetic acid, CH3COOH. We have seen it in the previous video, we have discussed it. And for non-electrolyte, they consist of only molecules and no ions are there in any state, so they do not conduct electricity. So for non-electrolyte we can take a substance like solid NaCl. Sodium chloride in solid state does not split into ions, and so free mobile ions are not present, so it is a non-electrolyte. Now the next thing is, what do you mean by ions? What are ions? Ions are atoms or group of atoms which carry charge in them. Okay. So example, we have chloride ion, Cl minus, there is a negative charge, so it is an ion. Na plus, there is a positive charge, so it is an ion. Similarly, we have group of atoms, CO3 minus minus, carbonate ion. There is a group of atoms, 3 oxygen atoms and 1 carbon atom. And SO4 minus minus, so 1 sulfur atom, 4 oxygen atoms and negative charges, so they are ions. Okay, now there are ions can be of two types. One is anions, the other one is cations. What are anions and cations? Anions have negative charge, they are negatively charged ions, and they are formed by usually non-metals, and they migrate towards anode during electrolysis. During electrolysis they move towards the anode, and they have excess of electrons in them. What do you mean by excess of electron? Example, chloride ion. Chlorine is a neutral atom, but there is one excess electron. That is why the negative charge is. A negative charge means excess of electrons than usual, so that it is a negatively charged or anion. So anions have excess of electrons. Now cations are positively charged ions. They have plus charge. Example, we can take sodium ion, Na plus ion. Yes, they are formed by metals and hydrogen. Hydrogen also forms positive ion, H plus hydrogen ion, and they migrate towards cathode during electrolysis. They have deficiency of electron. Na plus means, we know sodium, usually the sodium atom 2, 8 and 1 is a configuration, and it has lost this 1 electron. That is why it has become Na plus. Na plus has a configuration of 2 and 8. This one is not there, it is lost. So it has a deficiency of electron. Same way hydrogen has no electron, hydrogen ion has no electron, so it has a deficiency of electrons. So cations have deficiency of electrons. I think you understood that. Moving to the next, electrode. What is an electrode? Now electrode is a metal rod or any conducting rod or a plate through which current enters or leaves the electrolyte. We have already seen what are strong electrolytes, weak electrolyte, non-electrolyte, and what is an electrolyte we know. So the current enters or leaves the electrolyte through a rod or a plate. That is called electrode. Now there are two types of electrodes, anode and cathode. Now what is an anode? Anode is a rod or plate connected to the positive terminal of the battery or power source. It is the positive terminal of the battery or power source. See, you can see here during electrolysis, a picture of electrolysis. So the anode has a positive charge. Now here is a battery or a power source. The positive terminal is connected to the anode. Okay, so anode is connected to positive terminal of battery. Now what is cathode? Now cathode is a rod or plate connected to the negative terminal of battery or power source. You can see here the negative terminal, here it is negative of the battery, it is connected to negative of battery. So this is a cathode and this is anode. Now non-metals are discharged at anode. non-metals are discharged at anode, whereas cathode, metals and hydrogen are discharged. Why? The reason is non-metals form anions, so they recharge anode, and metals and hydrogen form cations, so they discharge at cathode. Now, anode has deficiency of electrons. Anode is positive. We have seen positive charge means deficiency of electrons, right? Cathode is negative. Negative charge means there is excess of electrons. So, I think this is clear to you. Moving to the next, there are two types of anodes. Anode, see, one is called active anode, the other one is passive or inactive anode. Now, there is a difference. Active anodes interfere with the electrochemical reaction. The electrolyte is undergoing a reaction, the anode also is interfering there, then it is active anode. And they do not allow anions to discharge at them. Anions come to the anode, but they are not allowed to discharge. Such an anode is called active anode, and they produce their own ions. Instead of allowing the anions to discharge, they produce their own ions, and they decrease in size and mass during electrolysis because they undergo a reaction, right? And example, copper, silver and nickel. 3 examples for active anodes: copper, silver and nickel. And we have passive anode. They do not interfere with the electrochemical. Means the reaction of the electrolyte is going on. The anode will not interfere. The electrolyte will react its natural way. And they allow anions to discharge at them. Anions come to them. They are allowed to discharge. No interference. They do not produce their own ions. They remain as it is. The metal rod is placed. It will remain as it is. Nothing happens to it. And they do not change their mass or size during electrolysis. No change in mass and their size. Example, iron, platinum and graphite. 3 examples for passive or inactive anode. The next thing is, let us see a chemical cell. What is a cell? Yes, a chemical cell is formed by the combination of an electrolyte, a pair of cells, a pair of electrodes, not cells, pair of electrodes put together in a container. You see here in this diagram, we see here is a container, here is an electrolyte, a solution is there, electrolytic solution. A pair of rods is there, one rod for cathode, one rod for anode, and they are connected. Now this whole thing is a cell. It is an electrolytic cell. Okay, so I think you understood what is a cell. A chemical cell is formed by the combination of an electrolyte and a pair of electrodes put together in a container. Electrolyte is there, electrodes are there, anode and cathode. A pair of electrode means anode and cathode, and a container is there. Then it forms a cell, right? Now there are two types of chemical cell. The first type of chemical cell is an electrochemical cell. Electrochemical cell gives out electric current due to a chemical reaction taking place in it. Here is a cell which contains an electrolyte and a pair of electrodes, and a reaction happens there spontaneously on its own without anybody doing, and it gives out current. There will be positive and negative terminal. It gives out current. Example, we have dry cells. Dry cells means what? Ever ready. Ever ready cells, you must be finding it. Ever ready. Okay. Ever ready or Nippo or any kind of cells that you use in your remote. Okay, and clocks, you use these cells. They are all what? Electrochemical cells. They produce current. There is a chemical reaction happening, they produce current. The other one is electrolytic cell, in which a chemical reaction takes place when current is passed through the electrolyte. Here we have a container, we have electrolyte, and we have to pass current through it. Current has to be given to the cell, and then a reaction will take place inside. Example, we have electroplating of copper. Electroplating. Electroplating reaction, we will discuss the details later about electroplating. So such reactions are all electrolytic cells. And example also we can take is this diagram you can find. Suppose this is a NaCl solution. NaCl solution, electrolytic solution. Now what happens? It will split into Na plus and current is given from outside. You see there is a battery. A current is given, so the reaction takes place. The moment you disconnect the key, what happens? No reaction will take place. So such a cell is called electrolytic cell, right? Then what is a battery? What do you mean by battery? Battery is a group of cells connected together. Now you have 100 cells on your table. But if you don't connect them together, they cannot be called a battery. This is important. Battery is a collection or a group of cells which are connected together. There is a connection between different cells, then it forms a battery. Okay. The next thing we have to see is the definition of electrolysis. Now we are going into the definition of electrolysis. What do you mean by electrolysis? Electrolysis is first of all a process. What is the process about? It is about decomposition of a chemical substance. When you say chemical substance, it is a compound, and in the molten state or aqueous state, see, the state is important. Electrolysis is never in solid state. It is in molten state or aqueous state. And by the passage of electric current, as we said, current has to be given from the external circuit. So you can see here, there is a container, electrolyte is there, rods are put, anode and cathode connected to the battery, current is switched on. So what happens here? The electrolyte splits into anions and cations, they migrate to the anode and cathode, and a reaction is taking place. Products are formed at anode and cathode. So the moment you switch on the current, what happens here? That is electrolysis. As long as the switch is off, key is turned off, no current is flowing, no splitting, no reaction, that means no electrolysis. So electrolysis begins with the switching on of the current. Okay. So how do you define electrolysis? Therefore, what are the key terms? Electrolysis is the process of decomposition of a chemical substance in the molten or aqueous state by the passage of electric current. This much is important. It's a long definition. The rest of the part, when you do this, what happens? The remaining things will happen automatically. That is resulting in the formation of ions. The decomposition will result in the formation of ion, which will discharge, which will move to the anode and cathode. They are discharged as neutral atoms at the respective. This happens. So as a definition, you may write the whole thing, or if you start from here and write up to electric current, even then it is correct. The remaining part, because it happens on its own. So what is the definition? How can you define electrolysis in a short manner? Electrolysis is the process of decomposition of a chemical substance in the molten or aqueous state by the passage of electric current. So what are the important things here? Decomposition. Number one thing important is decomposition of chemical substance. Second important thing is molten or aqueous state. Third important thing, passage of electric current. Three key aspects of electrolysis. I repeat, what are the three key aspects of electrolysis? Decomposition of chemical substance in the molten or aqueous state, and then passage of electric current, by the passage of electric current. Okay, right. Now what happens when the current is switched on? Anions migrate to the anode and cations to the cathode. This we already know. Okay, now these are called the principles of electrolysis. We can call it the principles. These are the basic principles on which we will study every electrolytic process. Number one is when the current is switched on, anions migrate to the anode and cations to the cathode. Second thing, electrons are neither created nor destroyed during the process of electrolysis. Yes, this is something to keep in mind. Electrons are only exchanged from one substance to another. It is neither created nor destroyed during the process of electrolysis. Then the next thing is number of electrons lost by cathode. Why cathode loses electron? Cathode has excess of electron. We have already seen that. So it will give electron. And anode has deficiency of electrons. Yes, so it will gain electrons. So number of electrons lost by cathode is equal to number of electrons gained by anode. If cathode gives 1 electron, anode gets 1 electron, because no electron is created here and no electron is destroyed. And the next thing is the products of electrolysis are formed at the electrodes only, either in the anode or at the cathode. It cannot form anywhere else, right? Then oxidation takes place at the anode and reduction takes place at the cathode. This is something important for class 10. So oxidation is loss of electrons by a substance. Please note this point. Oxidation is loss of electron by a substance. Now what happens at the cathode and the anode? The cathode is positively charged so cathode is negatively charged electrode. So what comes here? The cation. Example, if it is NaCl, Na plus comes here, okay, to the cathode. Now what will happen? It will gain an electron and form neutral Na, sodium. Now Cl minus, if it goes here, what happens? The Cl minus will lose electron. Cl neutral atom is produced and electron is lost. Okay, so loss of electron happens at the anode, gain of electrons happens at the cathode. So now see, oxidation takes place at anode, loss of electron by substance, and reduction takes place at cathode, gain of electrons by a substance. Okay, oxidation is loss of electron by a substance, reduction is gain of electron by a substance. So students, I think you understood this principle of electrolysis and also what are the various aspects, that is the terms related to it, electrodes, ions, and also the definition of electrolysis. So you can watch it again, and if you have questions you can write it on comments, and please subscribe the channel. In the next video I'll be giving examples of electrolysis, 3 different examples for electrolysis. Thank you.